I really appreciate it. You tuning back in anyway, despite my disruptions. Hopefully, this will be the last week that's crazy. I've got a move coming up that's happening, and it has caused a lot of chaos. And so it did last week, and it did this week, obviously. But at least it was just a delay and not like an outright cancellation. I appreciate you bearing with me. And we are back in Lord of the Rings online. So I'm really excited about trying this scenario quest again because I lost pretty badly. And so I'm excited about trying it again. I am going to try it on narrative mode because I did not win with my deck. I'm going to try one more time with my deck, and then I might try the starter deck, and then we'll jump in and see if there's anything else at that point. And if there's not, we'll jump into a different game and try some new things out. So before we get started, I know that it's coming up very soon where they just announced that co-op is going to be available very soon. I think that's really going to make this game shine a lot more than just playing it solo. It is fun to stream, but I have a feeling like the long-term gaming replayability is really going to be fueled by the co-op for sure. And so I'm very excited about trying that out and seeing what's going to happen with that. So I'm hoping we can showcase that very soon. I'll have to try to figure out the logistics of finding a partner to play with. I know Joe has talked to me about the possibility of being able to do it as a silent partner. And so I would still be streaming, and then he'd just play along with me while we do some missions that way. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to play the King of Carrion scenario again. This is an encounter designed to be especially difficult, and it was pretty difficult even on narrative mode. So we'll kind of jump back in. Yes, Joe, I'm very excited about co-op. I think it's really going to make this game stand out a lot.
Jorven steals a glance across the flames at the ragged and frozen strangers. Their starving eyes follow his every move as he ladles portions of stew into wooden bowls. What happened to these poor people?
The nights grow long now,
He mutters.
but not as long as during the winters of the Warlock. It is said that, during his reign, the Black Frost would descend from the heights, and the people of the moon would haunt the plains.
The strangers stare at Jorven, mouths agape, food forgotten.
For the dread lord of Angmar had used his
I'm hoping you
spells
can hear the
to
voiceover.
summon the Mordrown, the table hound of Thangorodrim, the king of Carrion.
Jorven stops. One of the strangers has stretched out her hand as if to ward against his words. Do not invoke his name, she moans, as the others huddle together, shivering in fear. Do not invite him in. Lowering her trembling hand, the woman gazes into the fire. For the King of Carrion has returned. It is the dead of winter, and evil is afoot. Ever greater numbers of northern Bjornings have come seeking refuge. Ragged and starving, they tell of a black frost that kills and corrupts, of the rise of moonlings and a sea of fangs, and the King of Carrion. Grimbeorn has summoned you for a meeting. As you arrive at his hall, a vigorous debate is underway among the local chiefs. The refugees' stories are too strange, too vague, too disparate to grasp what is really taking place in the shadow of the North Mountains.
My da used to scare me with tales of restless Mordrar.
Grimbeorn says, giving you an earnest look.
My people are besieged. The forces of Dol Guldur are rekindled. The spiders harass our forest trails, and the western passages have become unsafe. This winter is the bitterest in recent memory, and now we have many more mouths to feed. Will you help us uncover the truth of this new devilry in the north?
Alright, so I thought I'd play the story one more time. If I have to do
You
this
cross
again,
the ford near
I
the
might
Carrack
skip
and
it.
head north, staying to the snow-covered plains just east of the foothills. The weather is frigid, and the nights are black. After sundown on the fourth day, you arrive at the Siros, a wide tributary to the Anduin. On the far shore of the frozen river, you discern the outlines of a darkened building, perhaps a farmstead or fisherman's house. When the howling of wolves swells behind you, you decide to cross the ice and seek shelter for the night in the structure, whatever it may be. The first 100 paces proceed without event. Then, with a dull grinding and moaning, the ice shifts beneath your feet. Something snaps, and the frozen expanse jolts violently. Floes breach the surface in some places. Long cracks form across it in others. Behind you, blurry shapes pace to and fro along the bank. Wolves, summoning the courage to dare the ice themselves.
If by life or death I can save you, I will.
I do not fear either pain or death.
My axe is restless in my hands.
Okay. So, I know one thing that was characteristics of this the last time. Oh, really? I did not realize that. The scoring system forces you to kind of pick lore and spirit with the co-op. Yeah, I really like the idea of co-op too, because there are some decks that are, I mean, they're not the most fun to play unless you have a big group of people, and then you can kind of be casting different things at people, helping buffing, and so it'll definitely be interesting. So I've got some pretty good cards right here. I'm not really worried about events just yet. And I don't really need Common Cause just because I don't have any really super powerful hero just yet. So I think I'll just stick with the rest of these cards. Okay. So I've got to cross the frozen river, which takes 18 willpower. It's got a quest value of 18. At the end of a round, if 3 cracking ice are in play, my quest fails. So I also have to temporarily work on these cracking ice hazards. So they're like little mini adventures. And the other reason why I want to work on them is because they deal the damage to a random character. And of course, the frozen river, which is what I have to cross, is causing more cracking ice to happen every round. And I'm visually standing on cracking ice, so got to worry about all this stuff. High scores off hero health and threat level at end. Oh yeah, that makes sense. All right. Got some new viewers, I guess. We'll see. Okay. So my starting hand is pretty good. The only problem is that once I set the tempo, if I bring a guy out, I do have him for defense in the future, but I have to take hits from all of these wolves, and some of them do some pretty good amount of damage. So what I could do is I could force the damage onto one of my heroes to avoid Eowyn taking more damage, which I have a feeling they might target her. So we'll see. No wonderful options. The problem is that if I use Aragorn to block, I still have another 3 damage coming, and he's got Stalwart. But it is possible if I go on the offensive and attack him, I can finish him off before he gets his second attack. Which would also help my tempo, because I'm going to be taking... Right now, the damage I could be taking is up to, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But if I go after this warg here, it's possible I could kill him before he gets his second attack, which would lower my total attack that I'd have to take by 3. So that might be worth it. So I'll start off with Aragorn because Gimli does extra damage.
I serve no man.
Okay. So this is good because what I would like about this is that... Ooh, but he's kind of forced me into an interesting position here. Because I could attack this Vicious Warg, which Gimli now has enough attack to defeat. But then that would give him... I mean, it's basically still negating the same amount of damage. I'm not getting any benefit, but I'm getting rid of this guy. Oh, and he gains an extra attack when attacking a wounded target, so he is going to be better to target first. Because he'll do 4 damage to any of my characters except for Aragorn, and I doubt he'll attack Aragorn. So I'm going to go ahead and finish him off. That's what I thought would happen. But the good thing now is that Eowyn is available. I might untap... I hate to do this. I might untap Aragorn with a resource so that I can attack, because Aragorn should get Surge when I untap him. And then I can... That way I can save Eowyn for questing. Alright, so I'll use his power, reactivate him. And then I will kill the one remaining untapped monster, but of course he's going to bring something else out. Of course he is. Another warg. Wow. And unfortunately I don't have anything that will let me bring out another person and block. He'll get to do damage. But the good thing is that I can have my axe hand guard for the second stalwart hit. So yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to take one more.
Too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put him on guard, so he'll take the first hit. And then that takes him down to 2, so I really can take out either one of these guys if I wanted to, but the problem is I really want to work on questing. And I can only do that.
No living man am I!
Yeah. Whew. So we're going to be taking a lot of damage. So there's a lot of... Not telling. Okay, I see how it is. Alright, well, thank you for joining us. Let's see. So, the situation here is that I'm going to take 3 points of damage. But then I've got to go on the offensive because I can kill both of these wargs before I take 12 damage, which is how much they can do because they have Stalwart, which lets them attack twice. So whatever I do, it's going to be much better if I just... Well, I guess I could do the same thing by putting the axe hand on guard, which means he'll take 3 hits, but he'll do 2 damage and kill one of them. And then my heroes don't take damage, which is nice, but they beef up. And so I'll have Aragorn.
I serve no man.
Okay, discard every event card in my hand. Wow. Well, I guess that's better than a... I guess it's better than an enemy. I do want to bring the Starbrooch out, because then Eowyn could actually quest twice, which is amazing. And then the question is, do I want to bring out a Watchman or an Archer? I think I want to bring out a Watchman. I'm going to go set one of those.
We'll not be taken by surprise.
Ooh, nice. So co-op going to be on stream Thursday. Fantasy Flight's going to be showing it off. Hopefully it's really close after that. Okay, so I've got a Watchman here. He's going to help guard the next round of attacks if there are any. So now I can focus solely on questing with everybody, and I need to. But first I'm going to play Starbrooch on Eowyn. She's the most important character right now. Sauron passes like we figured he probably would. Okay, so Gimli should probably go after this one. What is this? Uneven ground, upkeep, exhaust a random ally. So the only ally I have is this Watchman, so he will be exhausted if I don't get rid of that. And there's really nothing I can do to avoid the damage that the cracking ice is going to cause next round anyway. So I might as well have her
I will smite you if you touch him.
work on that. And
No living man am I.
another thing that I need to do is, yeah, I need to start putting some progress towards fate as well. I should have maybe done that this round, but okay. So I got to be careful. Threat: discard up to 3 cards from your hand, or discard 6 cards from your deck. So that's going to make me discard cards from my deck. Okay. Actually, this isn't too bad because I'm only going to lose 1 card out of my hand, so I guess I'll do that. And I got hit twice. Ooh, I got some more Stalwart, which is good. But I've also got a Starbrooch. Unfortunately, I don't take any damage unless he plays something. So Aragorn is not going to have any more willpower. These two are going to get boosted, so I don't want to use them for anything. So Aragorn is going to be used to knock some cracking ice down a little bit. Okay, so now we've got an enemy. Reduce a random ally to 0. Okay, so that's okay. Because his willpower was already 0. And I can have him block, and he's already got block, which means he's going to do 1 less damage. And now that boosts Gimli and Eowyn. Yeah, I agree. I need that first fate event. 3 progress to an objective. Northern Survivor should play, which could probably help me quest. So I think I will go ahead and get that.
Many dangers lay.
Alright. So the good thing is I've got somebody to help me with questing from now on. Plus I get to apply 3 progress to any objective, which is going to go on the main quest. Gimli. Do I want to give Gimli the Starbrooch? Because or do I want to give it to Aragorn? Because eventually I'm going to have Gimli attacking with a Dwarven Axe, which, come on. Who doesn't want a Dwarven Axe? So we're going to do Starbrooch, which will give Gimli the ability to act twice in a round. So his first action will be to go ahead and get rid of this fella. So then my Northern Survivor is Stalwart, so he's actually going to get 2 quest actions, which is really cool. So he'll take care of one of these ice. Gimli will take care of the other one. So now I'm not taking damage anymore. And I'll have him quest. I mean, the more resources I have, the more Gimli will hit people. So I'll do another fate event. Give myself a resource. 2 resources. Everybody heals up a little bit. And now Gimli can get the axe on him. He's a lot beefier now. I have 1 resource in play, which I think is worth it because I definitely don't want to be out on this ice for much longer. Alright, so we've got another hazard spawn. So, Legend. So when you're playing this game, there's different stages of the quest. This stage of the quest it has the objective. If you click on the title, the objective is I've got to cross the frozen river, and I've got to do that by applying my willpower, which is the number in the diamond here in the yellow. I can apply willpower toward crossing that river. So that's like the equivalent of, you know, beefing my team up, motivating them, pushing them to get across it. So once I get to 11, then I beat this quest and I can move to the next stage. And there's a story that's tied into it. I'm chasing down this legendary werewolf creature thing. And I'm trying to hunt him down because he's terrorizing the countryside. So I've got to get to him. But first I got to cross this frozen river. And I just started a new round. The other thing I have to worry about is my threat here on the right. As I play cards and delay, as I try not to delay, but when I do, my threat slowly builds up. If it ever gets to 50, I lose because I've got Sauron's attention, and my quest fails. And anything I do, for example, I can apply my willpower to the fate over here and get these special events that I can unlock superpowers. And then I have cards I can play out of my hand. I've got resources I can spend to help beef up my characters on the board. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty exciting. This is an especially tough scenario. It's been designed to challenge players a lot. Okay, deal 1 damage to every ally, which is good. I mean, it's not wonderful, but the nice thing about that is that beefs up Eowyn with her willpower, because that's her special ability. And then Gimli is beefier too. So I'll go ahead and have the survivor finish the cracked dice for this round. At the end of the round, Sauron's going to gain 1 threat for each unexhausted enemy. Okay, so he doesn't have any enemies yet. So that's not too bad of a hazard, but I'm going to save you until the end just to see if he brings something out. I can't remember what Uve's cold is. I got it last time. You'd think I would remember. I also need to worry about my threat because every wounded ally is going to get killed. So I should probably do that, even though it's going to delay me. So Sauron's passing. He's not doing anything else. What are my computer specs? I don't know. I'm not a big computer person. I had someone put it together for me, but I'm not sure. It's got a lot of nice stuff in it that works really well, and I don't have to worry about it. So yeah. Exhausts all wolves. Oh, Iviscord? Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that's a card it gives me that exhausts all the wolves. And that would be good to have later on. What other games do I play? Tabletop Simulator, which is board games on computer with my family and friends. And lots of single-player role-playing games. Love those a lot. I'm currently playing Witcher 2. Going through that whole series. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I have 3 resources left. I can play this Warden of Enumenos because he's awesome and he can help me with questing.
Not on my watch.
So I still need to get this. I need to lose 5 threat so I can not worry about losing my allies. And he's not going to get any threat for this hazard, so I think I'm going to ignore the hazard for right now. I've got to get 2 more willpower. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with Aragorn. So now my threat's back down to 29. So you saw the little red meter drop over here, hopefully. It's pretty awesome because now I'm basically at my starting threat. I might even be a little bit below my starting threat. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit below my starting threat, which is awesome because you've got to watch out for your threat in this. How did I get my name? Well, the real-life card game that's the most similar to this is the Lord of the Rings card game, living card game. There's a physical version of this game, and it is different in a lot of ways. There's some really cool essentials that they kept the same, that is a lot of fun, very much story-driven, thematic, and the best thing is that it's a co-op card game. There's very few of those that are deck-building card games that are co-op, which is really cool. How did I get my name? It is a play on one of my favorite rap groups is Wu-Tang Clan, and I love Ghostface Killah, so I love that name and changed it into Gameface Killah, so, you know, gaming, that kind of thing. So, good questions, though. It's keeping me on my toes. Alright, so now I'm looking at just trying to quest my heart out. So I'll have Eowyn,
I will smite you if you touch him!
Gimli, Warden. Oh, and Gimli's got Stalwart, so he can quest again. So now this crossing the river is definitely within my reach. I only have to get 5 more willpower. I can't do anything with the poor watchman. I could put him on guard. And that saves me an action next round, I believe. Yeah, good. It does carry over round to round. Unexpected Courage is a great attachment because if I defeat an enemy or resolve an objective, I can go again, and it only costs 1. You basically get another action with the character. So I'm going to play that on Aragorn, so that basically I have my engine running now. All of my heroes have untap abilities. Okay, so this wolf gains 1 melee for each malicious warg in play, but there is only 1. I think that includes him, so that's why he has 1. I do want him to do some damage, and actually the Erebor Watchman's already set up, and he's going to block that 1 damage. But I wonder if that's not... So that means, though, that Eowyn and Gimli will not activate this round, so that's a bummer. But we'll see. Maybe they still will, even though it's blocked. I doubt it. So now I'm just trying to decide if I need to get Uves cold before I leave here. So I'll have this dude do some questing. When does this take place? Upkeep. So if I can get out of here this round, I won't need to worry about taking damage from the ice. Ooh, he's passing. Which is fine, because then I can just... Well, he'll get to attack me once. Which is fine, because my Watchman will block him. But now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the Uves Cold this round, but that's okay. I'm going to travel. So this is where I beat this quest stage. Uh-oh. What's my favorite Wu-Tang Clan song? I mean, I like Cream. That's probably my favorite. Why not? Because isn't that everybody's life is Cream, really? Alright. So I'm traveling, but I clicked the button already. So this is going to let me pass this stage, and anything that hasn't attacked yet is going to get to attack me. So he'll do 1 damage, but it should be blocked by my Watchman. And then I'll move to the next stage of the quest. Okay, it worked this time. We'll see a little bit more of the story. Protect your neck.
Safe at last upon the far side of the river, you climb the shallow slope and approach the abandoned building. Snow has leached within through cracks in the doors and windows, while harsh winds and the ravages of wildlife have thinned the thatch to feeble patches. Strangely, the wooden beams are almost black, as if petrified or rotted by the cold. Spindly grey veins cover much of the stonework as well. The fine tendrils fall to dust where touched. Then you hear discordant scraping from the well nearby. You approach, weapons drawn. A shaft of moonlight reveals a terrible sight below. A young woman, clothing shredded, scrabbles at the sides of the well. You move to lower the bucket rope, but a companion grabs hold of your wrist. You take a closer look at the woman and notice her black fingers, black eyes, black lips shriveled into a
I
cruel
think I have a
rictus.
razor.
The rope slides from your hands. You're looking at a thing out of legend and nightmare. A child of the black frost.
One moment.
A moonling.
I have a razor something. It's one of those snakes, but I can't remember which one. But it's actually a piece of crap because it broke. The little headset is, little arm boom thing is retractable, but that means that it's easily breakable. I would much rather have given up the retractable nature for a sturdier mic boom here, and I've heard that's a pretty frequent problem with this headset, so I'm gonna have to say no to recommending it. I have another headset somewhere. I should just use that one, but
Though shaken by the sight of the thing in the well, you continue your journey north. From what the refugees said, the source of evil radiated from somewhere in the Bjord Fields, an outlier range of the Misty Mountains. When the weather permits, you can see their thin outline in the distance. Gusty winds whip dry snow across gelid ridges and rolling hills, causing frequent whiteouts that cover you in a rime of ice. From time to time, you swear you see shapes wandering in the white murk, but they eventually disappear, if ever they existed. After some days of travel, black clouds gather to the north and east, and the winds die down significantly. You're not fooled by the relative calm, however. You move to prepare shelter. Something tells you that a great storm is coming. Not long after, it does, and shapes move within it.
so this stage sucked for me
Awoken
last
from
time.
slumber,
Oh, not ready yet.
Mordra stretches luxuriously and licks his incisors. He dreamt about the strangers, the enemies making their way inexorably north to his domain. He stands, yawns, and casts his gaze around the hazy, bone-ridden plateau. Circling the stone tomb at its center, he inspects the seals and grimaces at the aura that leaches through the rock. During the long ages of Middle-earth, few had plumbed the depths of malice as deeply as had Mordra. He laid at the foot of the Iron Throne. He bared his fangs to the silver light when the moon was young. He knew the language of the moon, and the secrets of the claws that await in the ice. He tasted the blood of greater heroes. He'd assumed many forms, and taken many names. An unnatural growl begins deep within him, deepening as his mind reaches for the winds of the abyss. He wills them to blow hard, to blow south. It's time to deal with these strangers, these would-be intruders.
Alright. So I gotta survive this winter storm that's suddenly blowing in. So during the upkeep phase I get a card draw, a couple card draws, and I also get 3 resources to spend on cards, playing new cards. The nice thing is I've got a full complement of army, a full complement of heroes and allies here. I've already got one guy ready to block, which is nice. So the problem with this mission, this stage of the mission, is that every time I lose somebody, it comes back as a zombie white type creature. And so it becomes really tough. I think it comes back as these moonlings, and they do damage at the end of the round. They ignore block, so they're pretty nasty. And the one thing that will happen is I start taking damage. I have to survive 4 rounds, and if I don't keep my campfire lit, every character I play is going to get dealt 3 damage. So that's going to kill and really handicap my heroes. So I got to watch out and make sure my fire isn't attacked by the creatures, because it has hit points. It has 4 hit points. Right now, my airborne started on block, which is an awesome... I love being able to start the round with that, because that means that's going to give me a tempo advantage. I can keep bringing people out to take damage, and then eventually, when my heroes are the only ones left, I've got a huge amount of damage I can do back. I'm also going to get 3 firebrands for this encounter if I get 4 fate. It's location specific, so I have to do it here. I also get Radagast as an ally who joins me if I can build up the fate for him, which I might be able to do. Okay, so I've got somebody to bring in case my watchman dies. But my watchman is going to live through at least one attack. Okay. So I definitely need to try to kill something powerful. And I think I should try to kill one of these vicious wargs because it basically does extra damage to a wounded target. So that's probably going to be my first move, is to take out one of these wargs. So yeah, he was able to finish my watchman because he got extra damage to wounded targets. The cold preserves. Anguish pierces your heart as your friend falls. Alas, you have no time to mourn the loss. The storm rages on, the battle along with it. Then your friend stirs. Hope flares within you, only to be extinguished a moment later. For with the flesh wreathed in a spiderweb of gray veins, black lips curling in a grim rictus, and ice-burnt eyes gleaming, it is your friend no longer. A moonland has risen instead. So this is what I was talking about. I've got a newly risen foe. Now these guys only do 1 damage when they attack, but that adds up, plus they do an extra damage at the end of every round, so I really need to take them out fast. So the nice thing is Gimli's got another attack. But I want to try to take out this guy who can do 2 damage, so I'll go ahead and use the Watchman to do that. The Warden, sorry, that's the Warden. Okay, so he attacked Gimli. I gotta worry about my heroes taking damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out a guard of the Citadel.
I serve the steward of Gondor.
They come out with block on them, which is nice. So, yeah, so that means that they have to automatically attack them. And then I'll go ahead and put him on guard again, because he does damage reciprocally, which is nice. Plus, and that reduces him to basically where any of my people can kill him. But the other nice thing about him is he takes a lot of damage before he dies. So now I basically have all this to attack with, and he doesn't have anything unless he uses his resources. He has 3 resources. Yeah, some of the sounds and cries do sound a little bit reminiscent of other games like Hearthstone, yeah. Let's see. So the Lancer's pretty nice, but I still have a full complement of heroes, so, and allies. So this guy is basically going to be useless in combat. I think I'm going to apply his fate, and he has stalwart, so he gets to apply it twice. Deal 1 damage to every exhausted character. That's good that he played that now. Okay, so if I get up to, I wonder if the firebrands are like allies that come into my hand. I think I might want to go for Radagast first, because I think he only is with me while I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and go for him first. So somebody... Oh, good. He just put Stalwart on this warg, but he's not going to get that till next round. He'll be long gone before then. And now he's out of resources, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and have... Since I can't use Eowyn's willpower for anything, any locations or objectives, I'm going to go ahead and apply 3 of hers to the total. Aragorn's going to contribute the other 2. So I have enough for Radagast, but the sad thing is that I think I'll have to kill one of my allies. So I might wait until the guard dies. So that means I'll go ahead and have... I'll have Aragorn come back. I'll have him kill someone. And then that's going to make his unexpected courage activate.
He cannot stand alone.
Yeah, so he'll get another action, and then he'll take out another guy.
I serve no man.
And since I have enough for the highest fate, I might as well have Eowyn just finish off the warg here.
I will smite you if you touch him.
And then this Gimli will finish the last zombie. This is how you do it, folks. Clearing the board. Alright. The nice thing about now is all I have to do is survive and then take out anything that gets played. And so I really just... Unfortunately, I can't use my campfire for anything. But I will draw one into my hand. I can play it. It costs me resources, but I don't need to worry about that yet. I'll go ahead and wait on Radagast just for right now. They took a damage. Why is that? If the campfire's not in play... So the campfire didn't do damage. I wonder why they took damage. Moonling White enters play, location specific. Oh, 2 of them interplay. Okay. So because of the fate event, that brings in 2 Moonling Whites. Now Gimli can take care of one of them by himself. So I'm only going to take 1 damage. And that's going to go to the guard, who dies. And becomes another white. So now I can use the Warden's first action. He does get 2 actions to take out one of them. Wait a second. Deal 1 damage, ignoring block. Well, why wasn't that enough to kill him? Oh, he only does 3 damage. I wasn't paying attention. Or he only does 2 damage and he has 3 hit points. I meant to attack this guy, but I should have put him on block. Ugh. Okay. Well, that was dumb. But I'll bring in Radagast now.
I am a stranger in these parts.
So when he arrives, every character gets an extra attack, an extra willpower, and a hit point, which is awesome. Okay. And he is just a badass, really. So he's going to be... And he also has block, so I can put him on defense, too. Because he won't last past this round. I'm pretty sure he goes away after this round. But, you know, the funny thing is that I don't really have anything to do. I literally... Like, I can have Eowyn do this last fate event. Oh, I gotta see what he plays. Okay, so he brought out another white. So I do have to take care of him. Aragorn. Sure.
I serve no man.
So he just gave block to one of his characters. So now it's going to take 3 damage to kill this guy, but that's okay. Gimli's way over that. So now I'm going to bring in the Firebrands. Okay, so this says deal 3 damage to a frozen or wolf enemy, and I'm assuming, yep, as you can see, this trait down here, he's frozen. So I can play these just as free actions and just take these guys out. I probably don't want to waste them on these guys yet because they're pretty easy to defeat just myself. So I'll probably save the card just for an emergency, just in case there's a big beefy wolf that comes out. Sauron's passing for the round. Now this is the tricky thing because if I allocate resources to fate, there should be some new fate events that start next stage. So I think that's the smart thing to do. And that includes this dude. And holy cow. Radagast has 6. That's amazing. I mean, definitely. I should just, yeah. It's going to overkill it. So I'm at my max, though. That's awesome. So now, Gimli is going to attack probably twice, right? He gets 2 attacks. Oh, no, he already used 1, I guess. But that's okay, because Aragorn can finish this guy off. So now we're just going to end the phase because We only had to make it... We only have to make it 2 more rounds. This is pretty easy. And if I can keep this tempo going, that means I have tons of cards, tons of resources. So the problem is... Yeah, let's go ahead and play some events that cause him trouble. Oh, and it's already triggered. So cancel, gain a threat for each ally. Okay, that's good because I had a ton of allies. And he wasted those 2 resources to play that event. So basically what I played is I played a preparation card, and they kind of lie in wait like traps so that if certain cards are played by him, certain things happen, then they are canceled. I could play Unexpected Courage on someone, but the problem is everybody has something on them already. I guess I'll put them on this guy because he's already got Stalwart, and if he completes an objective or kills someone... Oh, reduce every ally to 0 willpower this round. So hopefully that goes away. I wonder if that destroys Radagast's buff. So I'm passing and Sauron's passing, so we're starting again. Yeah, it looks like everything went back to normal. Defeat every wounded ally for getting to 35 threat. Well, it's not my fault I had to wait this long. I had enough to beat it. So let's see who dies. Okay, so just the Warden of Anuminos. That's not bad. So I do need to kill him because he will... So I'll use Eowyn for that.
I will smite you if you touch him!
And we'll see what comes out. Okay, so we got another war. He's going to gain an extra melee. He's got to go. Sauron passes, so he's not going to play anything else, even though he does have an extra resource. I'm going to go ahead and play Rohirrim Lancer. So now I've got a full complement of heroes again, and I'm just kind of waiting. So I'll end the phase also. So the objective is gone. There's a new round. I get 3 more resources and another threat event. Every character loses a melee, a willpower, and a health in this location. Damn it. So I didn't get out fast enough. Man, that sucks. That's terrible. I should have lowered... I wish I had something to lower my threat. Like, for example, Gandalf. Which I had plenty of resources to play, but oh well. Okay, so Radagast left because I think he was just on this location to help me. I guess I got... Oh, I got my willpower back. Because that was just a location event. Okay, good.
The stranger inspects your wounds and scratches with a gentle touch, muttering,
There. Not so bad.
He also kneels by the dead to close their eyes, as crestfallen as if he'd known each one in life.
Radagast, at your service.
The old man finally says with a grunt, his snow-burdened beard swinging heavily.
There are those who call me the brown. Why not the green? Or the flower? I cannot say.
He inclines his staff towards the northern peaks.
It seems we've come to share an important task, my friends. To again put to rest one that should not have been awoken.
You've heard of Radagast of Rosgobel, an eccentric hermit and wizard who dwells near the southern borders of Mirkwood. The kin of Bjorn hold him in high regard as a protector of wildlife and living things. Then comes a flutter across the sun, a shadow on the snow. A peregrine falcon alights on the old man's shoulder.
Ah, so it is you, Limbe.
He says in greeting.
And what news do you carry?
Listening to the bird's squawks, Radagast grows solemn. He nods sadly after a moment, feeds Limber a morsel, then sends the falcon back to the skies with a gentle nudge.
I am called away with haste, I'm afraid.
He apologizes, humbled, as if breaking a pact with you.
Too many rotten limbs in the tree of late.
Fumbling under his cloak, he produces a small whistle crafted of acorns connected in clever fashion.
This will aid you. But beware, do not blow this lightly. And be polite.
Then Radagast trudges away southward through the deep snow, the little falcon circling above him.
So I'm wondering in this if Radagast gets killed if he doesn't give you this gift. So
The days that follow are blessedly calm, and you make good progress amid the ridges and flinty hillocks. Gelid streams and skeletal evergreens are your traveling companions. The land rises further, becoming mountains in their own right, foot soldiers to the great peaks ahead. Curiously, the incline appears to lessen, while the flanking mountains tower increasingly above you. Soon the sun barely reaches through the mountains, and the cold hardens without mercy. One early morning, you wake with a quickening dread. Shuffling to stand amid the fierce cold, you peer into the shadows. A black and bitter mist creeps from the north. The air crinkles as grey frost blooms on your armor and weapons. A reptilian hissing emerges from the mist, faint at first. It rises until the mountain pass throbs with a sibilation of moonlings. You feel a chill deeper than any cold. The black frost is upon you.
Thought I already faced these moonlings. Blow this whistle to summon... Oh, I've got to discard a card. Well, wait. I didn't realize I got to keep the firebrands. Because, yeah, that's going to be a huge amount of money. Or a huge benefit if I get to keep those. I think I've got plenty of unexhausted people, so I think I'll get rid of Common Cause. I've got to defeat the Black Frost, which, to drive it back, it costs 25 willpower. That's the quest level. Ugh. At the end of the round, it's going to deal a damage to every character, so I really have to beat this fast. I do have my fate maxed out. Let's see what... So for this fate event, I get 3 resources in this location only. You know, that's a pretty good... That's a pretty good deal, but I already have 13, so I also gain the Shield of Summer for this encounter. Location-specific event, so we'll see what that shield does. I got a feeling I should put that on Gimli. So I know I'm going to be taking 3 damage. I could either offensively attack the one that only has 3 damage so that I only take the one that I couldn't do enough damage to defeat anyway. And then the only problem with that is I don't know who I would take damage from. Well, let's do this. If I put the Lancer on guard, then yes, he'll get attacked. That was not who he should have attacked with, but that's okay. It would have done. Gimli would have been increased to 6 melee anyway, and he could have easily defeated the other guy. So now I can defeat the other guy. So now I'm only taking 2 damage, which kills my Gorm and brings out another guy. Okay. So I can summon the aid of the Eagles also. That's this special card I got from Radagast, which is pretty rad, if you know what I mean.
I serve the steward of God.
So I'm putting the guard out because he auto-guards and he'll take the damage. And then I'll go ahead and have him auto-guard again. Of course, Sauron has 7 melee, so I'm really worried about what's going to possibly come out. I'm gonna bring out the Eagle help, because I have a feeling an extra ally is going to be more beneficial than getting that shield just yet. I put the whistle to my lips and blow. It emits an uncomfortable shriek, then falls apart. You hold for a moment, hoping for something to happen. Fire, wind, perhaps the return of the old man? Nothing. You have no more time for idle speculation when an enemy lunges at you. Focused upon survival, you forget the silly whistle until a similar shriek pierces the sky and a monstrous eagle crashes into the battle. Like the feathered clubs of a giant, its powerful wings batter several moonlings. It shrieks again, and the terrifying cry is more than your allies can bear. They retreat, covering their ears as the sound reverberates through the mountains. You remind yourself to be polite to this feathered prince, if you survive. Alright. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Wow, he just did a ton of damage. He also, as you can see, he's floating above the battlefield. He has flying, so basically, until he exhausts, he's flying, which means he cannot be attacked, I believe. This unit ignores guards when targeting an objective and can only be attacked by other flying or ranged units. An exhausted unit cannot have flying active. So he actually did some damage to every enemy when he came in, but then he exhausted all my allies, which, that's not too bad. It's just for one round. So the Foul Warg needs to go, because he can do 3 damage, so I gotta attack with Gimli next. Okay, so he just played all of his resources, thankfully, and gave this one guy an extra bit of melee, which isn't gonna matter, because he'll die. I'm going to go ahead and bring out some of these firebrands. So I deal 3 damage to a wolf character, and then I get to restore some health to a character. So I'm going to help out Eowyn here. I can basically also take out these other guys too, which is good because I really need Eowyn to work on questing as fast as possible. So I'll go ahead and play one more Firebrand. Take out this other guy, and then I'll heal Eowyn once more. And now I think I have enough. I can bring out one more person. And I think I might bring out the archer because she can auto-kill somebody. But it might be a good idea to have someone out who can also quest. And then I've also got this shield I can summon. So many options. Okay. I think I'll bring out the archer because that will get rid of this guy who's doing a lot of damage.
You breathe so loud I
And
could shoot you in the dark.
Since she can't contribute willpower, she can defeat the other guy. And now I can just solely focus on questing, but first I'm going to go ahead and get this shield. Deal your melee when attacked in melee. Oh, so he can block, auto block all the time. So that's only beneficial if he gets attacked, which if I block with him, he would do that anyway. I guess maybe Sauron might try to attack him constantly since he's got so much damage he can do. But, I don't know, we'll see. I'll go ahead and get the 3 resources also. Just to be prepared for anything. Even though I don't need it. So now I'm going to contribute Aragorn, and I'll untap him. I haven't been using his untap ability, but that's okay.
I serve no man.
KD, the game is really cool. If you did play the original game, I think you'd like a lot of it. I do agree that a lot of the digital games have really sucked, but I think they're kind of turning that around. There's some really good companies that are really doing faithful adaptations. I think the only hesitations I have about this version of the game compared to the LCG is you can't play 4 players so far in co-op. It doesn't seem like there's a plan for up to 4. There's only a plan for 2. But you never know, this game becomes popular enough it could turn into a 4-player game, which is what I'm really hoping for, because, man, those were some fun sessions playing the full Force of 4. But I do really love the physical card game too, so obviously if that recommendation helps as someone who loved that card game as well, then hopefully it's valuable to you, because this is a lot of fun for sure.
No living man am I.
So I'm applying the willpower as fast as possible. I should be able to knock it out next round, which is nice. I don't think I can play any more allies out, so a lot of these are useless. I could ready Eowyn. That might be worth it. Then I can guarantee that I get past this.
No living man am I.
I wish that I could untap her again, because I could finish it, or get close. So I could play sneak attack and bring out somebody. If it was Gandalf, I could finish it, but it's probably not worth the risk, and I'd have to get rid of one of my allies anyway. So I'll go ahead and just wait till next round. There's nothing significant happening for the next round anyway, based on threat. So in the digital version of the game, you asked about whether there is a campaign mode. So you play quest after quest after quest, and there is a story to it. And some of the things that you get in one stage of the quest can be carried over as a reward for the next. So it's very much like the I can't remember what they called them, the saga. So there was in the physical card game, they had the saga expansions where it was actually like a campaign, and you saved treasure cards that you got in certain quests for the next one. It's very much like that with the campaigns, but then this is a standalone scenario that is extra hard difficulty. I'm only playing it on easy mode, and it's pretty challenging. The harder modes are there for players to really test their decks, and so there's a lot of replayability like that. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have Aragorn quest, because his willpower won't get any better. Let's see what he plays. Deal 1 damage to every exhausted character. Well, he played that really early. So now at this point, I'll have this guy help me finish. Alright, so Sauron's passing, which is great. I'm wondering if I should contribute Fate, because the round, I believe, is going to start over again anyway. I think. I mean, I'm just guessing here. Sometimes it seems like it changes a lot. Like in the development, obviously this is an early access game. So there's some changes that they're making, and I think one of those is that at one point the rounds reset when you traveled, and then at another point they didn't reset. So I'm hoping that's the case here. Alright, so we're traveling. This is farther than I made last time. I've already been more successful than my last quest.
Silence falls upon the mountain pass. Although your breath still leaves trails in the wintry air, the killing cold has retreated. A glimmer of sunshine touches the upper sides of the western wall. Looking ahead, you see that the canyon narrows. Hints of mist curl in the distance. Gathering your things, you begin the last stage of your journey.
I hope it's the last stage, because I'm really high on threat.
The Bjord fields tower above you, sunlight kissing their upper slopes. The mountain's looming presence seems to ask, are you sure? Haven't you done enough? You forge on, ignoring them. Thin ribbons of water, the errant plumage of hot springs, trickle from invisible openings. The temperature rises, forming a thick fog. It covers only your feet at first, but grows with each step, eddying and twirling as you move. Soon it closes off the sky. You find yourself walking in a witch's brew. You sense the canyon walls falling away on either side. Sounds flatten, and the light brightens to a brown-grey murk. You pass sulphurous pools. The rocks become slimy and take on multicolored hues, scintillating yet sickly. Bones appear, first a handful, then plentiful. Some are from animals, but most are of two-legged creatures, humans, elves, orcs, and others. The skeletal fragments sprout from the murk like morbid vegetation. Hollow eye sockets seem to watch, to judge the new arrivals.
All right.
The pass ends at the base of a great stairway, steps so wide that either end is lost in the mist and gloom. The stone steps carved from the bedrock are slimy and shine with the baleful kaleidoscopic minerals of this cursed place. Trickles of foul-smelling water dribble down the steps from geysers above. Drawing your weapons, you ascend the dread stairway.
Old geezers.
Somewhere above, the King of Carrion awaits.
All right, so I got to be getting close, I'm hoping. I bet there's at least 2 more stages. This is going to be close. Oh, and then KD, I forgot to mention also, when you play the campaigns for the first time, there are individual scenarios. Once you beat a scenario, you get access to the next, and so on. And then when you're finished, you can play them randomly in any order you want, one at a time, different difficulties. So it's pretty nice.
The shadow that was Wolf growls, pacing the stony plateau. His anger enervates his minions. They lower their heads to avoid his baleful glare. Only the mindless seem unaffected by Mordra's anger. They gaze dumbly into the haze, listening only for the voice of the moon. Mordra barks a command to his feral minions. They slink over to stand near him before the old tomb. They wait for the footsteps to approach up the stairs and arrive at the landing ahead. They wait for the enemy to emerge from the sulphurous haze. They wait for the battle to begin. And the greatest of them all, the King of Carrion, the Hound of Morgoth, waits to taste the blood of heroes once more.
And Gorodrim's table. Alright, final encounter, thankfully. Whew. Final encounter is to defeat Mordor. That seems easy. He only has 12 hit points. He has block. At the end of the round, he gains 2 threat, so he's going to boost my threat really fast. The next threat event is that 3 vicious wargs enter play, so I got to be really careful about trying to beat this fast. None of these guys have block, but they each gain a damage for every malicious warg that's already in play. I have my guard here who's going to take 1 hit. And then Gimli is going to be able to take out a couple of these guys. I'm also going to... I've got my firebrands too. Ooh, and I got Tom. Defeat a non-unique enemy when he comes into play. He might be really worth playing. Wow, Mordor doesn't even have Stalwart. But, I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I think what I want to do is... I mean, it just seems like I could just attack this guy and do 8 damage with Gimli alone. But I gotta... Man, I wish I knew what this... Oh, the shield lets me do my... yeah. But I've already got a weapon on Gimli, so he can't really do any more damage. Ah, but you know what? I don't want to do attack with Gimli right away because he'll have more damage eventually. Tough decisions, man. Okay, so I'm going to have Aragorn attack one of these.
I serve no man.
Okay. Oh, these guys have Stalwart? What? Oh, okay. I was waiting for him to tap. Oh, so the whites still come back into play too. So that's not terrible. But I gotta do something about the other remaining damage that could happen here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Aragorn back. Or should I have the archer block another 3 damage? tough. Well, okay, if Aragorn were to untap and attack, he would kill one of these guys. But if I brought out Tom, he'll kill one of these guys and defeat one of these enemies anyway. And these guys have 6 hit points, so that's probably worth it.
Where's Goldberry?
Okay, so he did kill my guy, but my guy was only really good at questing, so, and he did have stalwart, but that's okay. Oh yeah, Katie, I totally understand wanting to wait till early access is over, because I'm almost worried that I'm gonna fall in love with something that's gonna change, and yeah, and you never know how much the game is gonna undergo. It's already gone through a lot of changes just in development before it even was released in early access, so I'm kind of interested in seeing what'll happen. So Gimli now has 6 damage that he can do. I could finish this fight. I don't see how the fight could stop. Maybe there's a second stage of Mordor. So hot is hot. Deal 3 damage to each to 2 enemy units, or deal 5 damage to Mordor. Okay, so I can do that. That's a good. Or defeat Mordor, location-specific event in the tomb. Mordor's movements seem to favor the large sarcophagus. Ooh, he's protecting a sarcophagus. You feint to distract the beast, then rush forward to push at the tomb's lid. Mordor turns in an angry surprise as the stone moves with a rumble. He rushes at you, eyes flaring, maw opening impossibly wide in a violent bellow. But Mordor is too late. With a mighty shove, you expose a corner of the tomb. Time seems to slow as the air trembles and throbs, then Mordor's body begins to shred into particles. I mean, I gotta do that. I've got the fate, right? Ah ha ha! Son of Shadows. The beast succumbs with a rattle, its body dissolving into dust. Shadows stretch across the plateau as the stillness falls. Then the shadows bend, angling toward the tomb. They undulate as if living things. A tinny noise winds from the tomb, and cold lights swirl in the harsh runes that cover its sides. The geysers suddenly erupt at once. With a clap of thunder, the shadows snap from their anchors to coagulate about the tomb and reshape the demon from their black clay. The red eyes of Mordor open in his reformed shape. I knew he was going to come back. Okay, so he's got 10 hit points now. He's got block again. Every upkeep he gets to summon 2 malicious warg, and at the end of the round he gains a threat. So I could deal 5 damage to him again if I just get a little bit more willpower built up. But I do need to worry about how I'm going to block. I think I'll have Tom guard. So whoever attacks him is going to get killed, unless it's Mordor who's just going to take damage, which is good, because I need to whittle him down a little. So we'll see what happens. Yep, it's Mordor. He's leaving anyway, so that's not bad. Mordor now has 8 hit points, and I only have to deal with some smaller people here. So I'm going to put, if I put the archer on guard, I'm hoping, that's not going to do anything because he'll attack me with a white and basically just kill her for not much damage in return. Well, we'll see. Oh, no, he attacked me with the work. Okay. Oh, but it's, okay. So I brought another white on the field, but that's not too bad. So I've got a firebrand. At this point, it doesn't really matter if I take a little damage here and there. If Tom takes it, that's okay. He's leaving anyway. So I'll use my firebrand. Ooh. Mordor is a wolf enemy, so I could deal 3 damage to him. I think he just takes 3 damage without blocking, hopefully. Oh, and I get to heal a character too. So I'll heal Gimli. He's probably the most important to stay alive. Okay, so Tom left, which is fine. I could sneak attack, see what I get. But I think I need to bring the Erebor out because even though I'll take a hit, I can block the last hit. So put him on guard. Okay, so Pack of Wargs comes out. Every upkeep they're going to gain a hit point. The nice thing is they're going to do 3 damage, but my guard can take them. Because there's not... I mean, the only other thing I could do is have Gimli do 1 hit on... and take them out. Yeah, I'll do that. Sauron's passing. He's not going to attack with the last white. So I'll have Eowyn do this last fate event. Deal 3 damage each to 2 enemy units, or 5 damage to Mordor. I'll deal 5 damage to Mordor. Now he's down to 2, and so that should let Gimli finish him off. I'll go ahead and do that. Once more, the demon, King of Carrion, the table, the Hound of Morgoth falls. The light extinguished, the beast melts into a fine gray powder. Tendrils of frost creep hungrily from the remains in all directions. You back away from the spreading gray frost. Mordor's minions seem bound in place, then shudder and gasp as the frozen blight reaches them. With horror, you watch the frost invade the creatures, draining them like water wrung from a rag. Mordor rises from his ashes yet again, and his warriors' empty husks collapse into dust. So hopefully that means he kills all of his people. Yep. Now he's only got 8 hit points. He's still got block. He's now got stalwart. When he arrives, he defeats every enemy. So that's, I'm assuming that means his enemies. My enemies. Upkeep, he summons 2 wargs. So I gotta block this guy. He's only gonna do 3 damage, which isn't too bad. Man. Okay, so my Erebor Watchman's gonna take the damage. So let's get sneak attack out here. See what we get. Range attack, deal 1 damage. Oh, it's just an archer.
You breathe so loud.
But that's something I can block with. Oh. I did not realize that sneak attack had surge on it. Is that right? I guess I still get another action. That's interesting. So the Watchman's going to take the first hit. I wish I could get Gimli back again. I don't know who he's going to attack, but I don't have anything else to do, so I should definitely attack with Eowyn.
No living man am I.
Why isn't he attacking? Maybe it's weird. He doesn't seem exhausted. Okay, well, we'll just wait and see. So I think I should bring out the axe hand to help guard, plus he can at least do 1 damage, whereas right now everything's blocked. That only does, if I only do 1 damage, it's just going to get blocked. So Aragorn will attack.
No man.
Oh, I should have equipped the Dwarven Axe on him. Well, we'll do that now. So we'll at least do some more damage next round. I'm going to go ahead and have the Eagle attack. Alright. So he is down to 2 hit points. Hopefully this is the last stage. I would imagine he wouldn't kill all his allies unless it was just him versus the world. Okay. So he did bring 2 wargs out. That's right. Malicious wargs. These guys have a lot of hit points. Oh, and I got Gandalf. What an awesome ending. Definitely got to bring Gandalf out.
I am a servant of the secret fire.
So 3 Vicious Warg enters play if I don't finish this off. So I'm going to have Gandalf come in and finish him off with 3 damage. Campaign complete.
Mordrau burns once more. Every particle of his being flares, then dies away like a wind-fed ember. It takes you several moments to trust that the demon is finally and utterly gone. Calm falls on the plateau. A sense of peace, even of simple joy, though tinged by sadness. On the tomb, inscriptions that once looked wicked now possess an ancient beauty. You push aside the lid, expecting to find remains of a cruel warrior or evil warlock. Instead, you see the body of a large hound or great wolf. There is no sense of evil. Instead, it seems restful, wholesome. Respecting this aura, you reseal the canine form within the tomb. During your journey back south, you come to believe that Mordrau was not the body in the tomb. Instead, the demon must have been sent to corrupt whatever wholesome energy lay within. In time, the Bjorning refugees return home. Thanks to your aid, they should prove great allies in future struggles.
Ooh. Rewards. Ooh, 510 out of 550. That's pretty good, right? I mean, I think that's probably percentage-wise the best ratio I've gotten out of... I'm only missing 40 points. My threat level was nice and low since I reduced it at the beginning with that fate event, and then the final fate event's just, I mean, man, 3 stages of a boss. That's crazy. It helped me get past the first 2 really easily. All 3 heroes survived. Hero health was at 67%, which is awesome. Played a lot of, basically played every fate event, I think. Maybe one. Oh, 90%. I didn't play them all. Resolved all the 75% of hazards, defeated 77% of enemies. That's awesome. So good amount of Valor. And Valor are points that can be spent buying new cards, which I think there are some new cards. Wow. And I unlocked all the rewards for these heroes. I'm wondering if you get more reward options on harder difficulties. But I did get some extra Valor points as a one-time reward, and then this kind of incentivizes you to try other decks, other heroes, which is cool. Congratulations, you completed King of Carrion for the first time. As a special reward, you've earned this bonus. 2 Northern Survivors. Those are cool cards. I like them. Stalwart questers, basically. And you don't get that with allies that are that much help with questing. They can contribute 4. Just having 1 out, and it's only cost 2. I also got 200 bonus victory points the first time for beating this. So you get lots of cool rewards, lots of neat stuff. Let's see what cards are purchasable. I do have quite a bit of Valor because I did purchase a higher tier level. And as you can see, there's a lot of really cool cards that are available to purchase. I don't have a lot to choose from, but at the start of the game, when I first bought, I had a lot. I just bought them all with my Valor, so if you keep playing, you'll build up enough Valor to buy everything you need. There's lots of cool... Ooh, this is a hero from the physical card game I've always really liked. Healer. Really cool card. Well, that's it for this week. I definitely have... It's been a long, grueling campaign, but I won. I was glad. I was really intimidated the first time I played and lost in the second stage. So it was exciting to actually have a deck that I built succeed against that, even if it was easy difficulty. But it was still cool to see it work really well the way I wanted it to. So I'll keep playing with decks, trying to find some good thematic decks to build. And I'll take a little break from Lord of the Rings until there's new content to come back to. I will still be back next week streaming. I'll be in a brand new location, so it'll be really awesome. I'm very excited. Hopefully you'll join me then next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Same time, same place. We are taking a break this week on Table Flipping Games. We play every Saturday on DeFebruar's channel, which there's a link to it in the show notes and also in the YouTube VODs if you check those out. But we play every Saturday. We play board games on Tabletop Simulator. We're getting ready to start a new campaign. We're not sure which one yet, but we're definitely starting a really cool campaign of some type of board game. I think it's down to either Pandemic Legacy or Imperial Assault, Legends of the Alliance with the app. So it'll be really cool. Check that out. Probably not this Saturday, but the new campaign starting after the new year. and we're playing some one-off games 2 weeks from this Saturday, or a week from this Saturday. So until then, keep tuning in. I'll be back here next Tuesday. I'm going to have another game that I'm going to show you that is a really cool adaptation of a board game, or a video game that is out there that it doesn't have a board game equivalent, but has a lot of the same really cool abilities and mechanics. And we'll kind of be analyzing those and promoting those on the show. So until then, I'll see you guys all next week. Have a great week. Bye.